The crystalline halls of the Galactic Council chamber fell silent as Ambassador Kiza walked through the towering archway. Her boots echoed against the polished floors, each step deliberate, measured. Behind her, Commander Nick followed, his military uniform pristine, his expression carved from stone. The assembled representatives of 47 species turned their various appendages, sensors, and optical organs toward the two humans. Kiza had been to this chamber before. 3 years ago, she had stood in this very spot, pleading for intervention. She remembered how her voice had cracked, how tears had streamed down her face as she begged the Council to help Earth against the Vraxian invasion. She remembered the pitying looks, the apologetic gestures, and ultimately, the unanimous vote to remain neutral. Earth is too primitive, they had said. Intervention would violate the non-interference directive. She remembered returning home to find her planet burning. Today, she was not here to plead. Council Speaker Zarthun, a towering insectoid from the Apex Collective, leaned forward on his elevated platform. His mandibles clicked nervously. Ambassador Kiza, Commander Nick, the Council has summoned you to explain the concerning reports we have received regarding Earth's recent military actions. Kiza stopped at the center of the circular chamber. Holographic displays flickered to life around her, showing footage that made several Council members recoil. Vraxian warships torn apart, entire fleets reduced to debris, planets that had supported the invasion now surrounded by human vessels, their populations terrified. Explain? Kiza's voice was calm, almost pleasant. Of course, Speaker, but first perhaps you could explain why the Council finds Earth's defensive response concerning when the Vraxian invasion that killed 2 billion humans warranted only your thoughts and prayers? The chamber erupted in agitated chatter. Translator devices struggled to keep up with the cacophony of alien languages. Nick stepped forward, his hands clasped behind his back. 3 years ago, the Vraxians attacked Earth without provocation. They glassed our cities. They hunted our children for sport. They broadcasted their atrocities across their empire as entertainment. His voice remained level, but something cold gleamed in his eyes. And you did nothing. The non-interference directive, began Council Member Thelia, a crystalline being whose form refracted light in dizzying patterns. Doesn't apply to member species, Kiza interrupted. We checked. The Vraxian Dominion has been part of this council for 400 cycles. They had every protection, every right, every privilege that membership provides. But Earth? We were told we were too young, too violent, too primitive to join your enlightened civilization. She pulled up a holographic display with a gesture. Names scrolled across the projection. Billions of them. These are the people you chose not to save. My mother's name is there, Nick's wife and daughter, his parents, my entire homeworld of New Mumbai, population 600 million. The silence that followed was oppressive. Zarthun's antennae twitched. Your grief is understood, Ambassador, but the response has been disproportionate. The Vraxian Dominion is on the brink of collapse. Their colonies are in chaos. You have killed trillions, millions, Nick corrected coldly. We've killed approximately 700 million Vraxians, all of them military personnel or those directly involved in the invasion. We've been very precise, Speaker. Humans learned the importance of precision from watching our civilians burn. Kiza continued, her voice steady. You wanted us to understand that the galaxy operates by rules, by laws, by civilized conduct. So we studied your laws very carefully. We found something interesting. Another holographic display materialized, showing dense legal text. Article 47, Section 12 of the Galactic Covenant. Any species subjected to attempted genocide by a member state has the right to seek proportional reparations and justice through any means necessary should the Council fail to intervene. It's an old law. Apparently it hasn't been invoked in 3,000 years. But it's still valid, Nick added. We had our best legal minds review it. The Council's failure to act against the Vraxians despite clear evidence of genocide gave us legal authority to pursue our own justice. Thelia's crystalline form flickered with agitation. The law was meant for diplomatic negotiations, not military conquest. Then perhaps the law should be more specific, Kiza replied. We're following it to the letter. We've documented every Vraxian war crime. We've tracked every officer who participated in the invasion. We've identified every colony that provided logistical support. And we're systematically dismantling their military capability to ensure they can never threaten anyone again. Zarthun raised one of his bladed forelimbs. This council cannot condone such brutality. The Vraxians have sued for peace. Have they? Nick's question cut through the air like a knife. Because our intelligence suggests the Dominion is currently regrouping their fleets in the outer reaches. They're not suing for peace, Speaker. They're buying time to rearm. He tapped his wrist device and new footage appeared. Vraxian shipyards working at full capacity, weapons being manufactured, troops being trained. We've been monitoring them. Unlike this council, we don't have the luxury of closing our eyes and hoping threats disappear. Kiza stepped closer to the speaker's platform, her gaze unwavering. Earth didn't ask for this war. We didn't ask to lose half our population. We didn't ask to learn how to build warships that could crack planets or develop weapons that make your advanced species nervous. But you taught us an important lesson. And what lesson was that? Zarthun asked quietly. That mercy is a privilege reserved for the strong, and that the galaxy respects only power. Kiza's words hung in the air like a pronouncement of doom. For 3 years we were weak and you left us to die. Now we're strong and you're afraid. Nick produced a data chip and placed it on the hovering terminal before them. This contains Earth's formal petition for membership in the Galactic Council. We meet all the requirements now. We have faster-than-light capability. We've established diplomatic relations. We've demonstrated our military strength. And we're prepared to contribute to Council operations. You're blackmailing us, Thelia accused. We're following your rules, Kiza corrected. Accept our membership and the Vraxian situation will be resolved through proper diplomatic channels. We'll even agree to a ceasefire immediately. Reject us again, and we'll continue to exercise our legal right to seek justice independently. The chamber fell silent once more. The council members looked at each other, their alien features betraying confusion, fear, and grudging respect. Finally, Zarthun spoke. The council will deliberate. You'll have our answer within 1 cycle. Kiza and Nick bowed slightly, a gesture of courtesy that felt almost mocking in its formality. As they turned to leave, Kiza paused at the archway. One more thing, Speaker. If the council ever fails to act on genocide again, we'll remember. And next time we'll do more than just defend ourselves. We'll defend those you abandon, whether you want us to or not. As the 2 humans departed, the Galactic Council sat in stunned silence, finally understanding what they had created through their inaction. Not just survivors, but a species that had learned the galaxy's cruelest lesson and refused to forget it.